Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Hope you guys are all having a wonderful day. Today's upload is going to be another long range outlook, and basically what we're expecting is a fall-like pattern from around now, for, a couple of hours, basically once a cold front passes through wherever you live, all the way through about September 12th, which is, I believe, somewhere around midweek next week, or late week next week, and then we could start seeing things warm back up way above average. But I know that a lot of areas have been way above average for much of the country, and now we're expecting a cool down for the next couple of days. A very fall-like pattern, stormy, wet, cool, and even some first frosts are happening across the north. So before we get into this video, consider subscribing to my channel. Consider liking the video. If you're wondering why am I to subscribe, well, if you're new to this channel and this is your first video you're ever watching, check out my videos, check out my channel. Feel free to roam around, do whatever you want, and consider subscribing whether this channel suits your needs or not. And if you're an old returning member and you haven't subscribed yet, but you really like my channel, remember that subscribing to my channel really does support my channel a lot and helps it out. So it's free for you. It's a win-win situation. That's basically what I'm saying. So, yes, there is Tropical Storm Gordon that is, I think, right now at 70 miles per hour. That could be upgraded to a Category 1 hurricane in the last couple of hours of its life on the ocean. But you may be wondering why I'm not doing a video on that. I just feel like if it's more relevant across the country where I live, and where this is hitting, this heavy rain is closer to home, and there's just more to talk about rather than just this tropical storm. I tend to not focus on tropical storms too much because that's just I just don't really like forecasting them. But so we move on. You can see that right now this is actually for Wednesday, since this is the 18Z, which is around the 2 o'clock model run of the GFS. So you can see that for Wednesday or Tuesday in the evening, you can see lots of action going on. Tropical Storm Gordon making landfall, and then sorry about that, I need to click on this, and then we go keep going in time. So you can see there is quite a bit of rain that will be falling across the area of southeastern Minnesota, the boot of Minnesota, the north woods of Wisconsin, and parts of northwestern Iowa, sorry. And this will shift down throughout Wednesday, so that's tomorrow. Throughout tomorrow, this should shift down through the day and produce rain to areas further south like Illinois, Chicago, Detroit, Michigan, Indianapolis, Indiana, Kansas City, Missouri, cities like that. You can see right there Gordon. We don't need to see where this goes, because if it tracks further a little bit to the north, it could bring quite a bit of heavy rain towards the Midwest from the storm, actually. And you can see right here the latest run of the GFS has, I think this is Florence. As of now, I think it is a tropical storm. I haven't checked in a little bit, so I'm not sure. But right there, if it does get really concerning, I will make a video on it. But at this point, it's still fairly far out, so let's not panic yet. And this is where it stops, the newest run of the GFS. So let's go back to the 12Z. And you can see right here, it does definitely slow down, like I said, after the 12th, around the 12th, so midweek next week, yeah. Like I was saying, it does seem to calm down. There's a high pressure, very warm temperatures across much of the country. There could be some 90s again. But then we enter more of an active pattern towards the end of September with a fall blast again, likely. So let's go to actually total accumulated precip. So you can see definitely less than what we've been expecting the last couple of days, or because most of it has fallen already, but still quite a bit of rain nevertheless. And again, what I was talking about right here, that stripe of rain could produce up to 5, 6, 7, 8 inches of rain, possibly even more. So again, these areas have been absolutely inundated by heavy rain, absolutely slammed by torrential downpours and severe weather, so they definitely don't need any more rain. And just a little bit of rain, even an inch of rain, could cause major flooding. I know that there was one thunderstorm here that hit, and it kind of developed right over our area, just stood along there, kind of stalled out, and just, hung around our area before spinning off into the lake. It dropped around 3 to 4 inches of rain, and there was some insane flooding going on in my neighborhood. So that definitely was not a good thing. But if we go back to the 2-meter temp, let's go to the 2-meter temp anomaly, which basically shows you the 2-meter air temperature, whether it's below or above average. When it's above average, it's marked by orange, red temperatures. When it's below average, it's marked by blue or the purplish temperatures. Or the colors, not temperatures, sorry. And then you can see, so right now we are at the 12. There was plenty of warm air across much of the country. I know, here in Chicago, we were sweltering in almost 95 degrees on Sunday before the storms came. Or that was Monday, sorry. And then you can see this cold front passing through, fairly strong, associated with that band of heavy rain. And you can see how much cooler air is coming back through Saturday. You can see Sunday, a lot of cooler air in general for the Northeast, basically anywhere east of the Rockies. But again, the Northwest could still see some cooler air. It's just mainly the mid part of the Rockies. And then once we get out into around the September 12th time frame, like I was showing and saying, you can see that the cool air gets pushed way back further north and to the east and to the west, and then just the warm dome air of hot air is just taking its control, and that does do so for about anywhere from mid next week to about the end to the start of the next work week of the the second work week. I'm getting these things locked. So basically to about Tuesday, September 18th, and then we could get into another pattern where it's cooler than average. So that's all. We will need to see how that shapes out, and I would like to show you some of these temperatures actually. So right now you can see very warm temperatures across much of the country, and then there's actually frost advisory right now. If we were to go to the National Weather Service, right here for areas in North Dakota. Sorry, there's some frost advisories posted, and you can see there's a perfect example of the cold front, the warm temperatures to the south and east of it, and then the cool temperatures to the north and northwest of it. So you can see 60s, mainly 60s, some 70s, and then here 80s and 90s to the south, southeast. So definitely a lot cooler. And if you look during these nights, I mean, it gets pretty chilly, 42, 47, 40, fairly chilly. So again, meteorologically, fall has already started. And if we keep going here forward, you can see these cooler temperatures are there. While much of the country is, not much, but some parts of the country is in 90s and 80s, there's the north and the northeast, which is in 70s, 60s, 50s, which is much needed relief. But then, as I mentioned, things start warming back up again, and we could reach up into the, say, even the 70s, and maybe even 80s. And again, you got to get used to this. This is September already 16th. So at this point, the average temperature here for Chicago should be around 75. So if we get above 75 into 80 area, that is technically above average. And I know a lot of areas here in the Midwest are similar, around 75, 76. Not as of now, but once September 20th arrives. So you can see, and then later on, we just really start getting into the winter pattern, not winter, but fall pattern, 56, 58, and these are daytime highs, mind you. These are in the lows into the 40s and upper 30s. You can see some hints of blue right there. So what I was talking about when I go right here, if we go to North Dakota, there is actually a frost advisory. Let's go to Minot, North Dakota. And you can see right there from tonight into Wednesday morning, 39 degrees for North Dakota. And I would not really appreciate living there, way up there, due to the fact that, look, I mean, it gets up into the 70s in the day, but then during the night, it just drops down 40s, 50s. So it's fairly chilly, and it ends the growing season fairly quickly, but that doesn't mean that the warm temperatures end, which is kind of unfair, because then it just kind of rips you off. So if we were to go back to you can see there's just a whole range of outlooks. There's a tropical storm warnings to the south, and there may even be some hurricane warnings. I am not sure at this point. Let's quickly go check on that while this MacBook loads, this computer loads, and hurricane warnings are posted, yes, so there is a potential for a hurricane. If you go to Louisiana, yeah, you can see heavy rain, showers, tropical storm conditions expected with hurricane conditions possible. So quite a bit of rain as well. But again, I don't think it will be nearly as dangerous as it And again, big media sources like the Weather Channel are kind of overhyping this. They're they're like talking about this. Oh, Louisiana's getting Alabama, Louisiana, Georgia, Mississippi, Panhandle of Florida. They're getting absolutely wrecked, inundated by flooding. Well, if you go further up north here, there are plenty of watches and warnings of rivers just overflowing. I mean, look at all these watches. Tornado watch, flood warning, flash flood warning, severe thunderstorm warning. And if we were to go to some of the rains that actually fell for the past several days, you can see this is what happened in the past 7 days. 10 to 15 inches. And what they're expecting down south with their tropical storm or maybe even a hurricane, they're expecting only 1, 2, 3, 4 to 8 max. So what has happened here in the Midwest is absolutely insane, and I'm surprised the Weather Channel hasn't even focused on it. So if we go right here, what I was talking about, this stripe of land, Rochester, and this is northwestern Illinois, this is southwestern Wisconsin, this is northeastern Iowa. You can see lots of rain, and they're still expecting up to 4 to 8 inches in this area, from about south of the Twin Cities to about the Toma area or the La Crosse, Wisconsin area, somewhere around there. So 4 to 8 inches, that is still way too much. For 1 to 3 inches of rain would be enough to cause flooding after all of this fell down. So again, right here it says it for your own good. Significant flooding on some rivers possible, potentially life-threatening in some areas. And then they're talking about the impacts. So in terms of severe weather, nothing too much. It is more of a torrential rain downpour. So let's go quickly here. Thunderstorms with heavy rain will impact the area through Wednesday morning. Heavy rain will occur with all the storms and localized to widespread flooding is anticipated. So 3 to 4 inches per hour is definitely reasonable. I'm telling you, when we had that thunderstorm over our area, it was absolutely dumping buckets on our area. So this is definitely not unheard of. 3 to 4 inches. This is something that, again, is insane. The rainfall rates. This would be insane for snow, 3 to 4 inches. But imagine 3 to 4 inches of rain per hour. That's just a little bit uncomprehendable. If you go to let's go just to the Midwest radar, you could see quite a bit of heavy rain, some squalls of some thunderstorms, some individual cell thunderstorms, which could be on a severe side, but mainly this heavy rain threat that is, that is basically dominating this weather story. So you can see right here, torrential rainfall or ponding of water on roads near zero visibility. I wouldn't say near zero visibility. If you're caught under a heavy downpour, then yes, but otherwise, I wouldn't say I wouldn't say it is near zero, but again, like I was showing you, insane amounts of rain. So I would also like to show you what the Climate Prediction Center has to say after this cooler weather comes approaching. And basically, like I was saying, September 12th to 18th, we are expecting much above average temperatures. I mean, this is pretty insane. You could see, I would say 85% of the country is above average, and only parts of the Northwest are below average. And then this would mean, you can see these colors right there, that is around 70 to 80% chance of being above average, which is very high when they put this out. And sorry about that. When we look at the precip probability, intermix, the southeast above average, northern wood plains, northern woods, the northern plains would be somewhere above average, and then coastal New England could be below average, and then here in the center of the country could be below average, and then in the Northwest it could be above average. So this is what's to come in the next 8 to 14 days. That is 12th to 18th of September. However, we need to focus. Today's the 4th, so we need to focus on the 4 through 12, and then we'll focus on 12 to 18 later on. So, very fall-like active pattern for the next couple of days. However, afterwards, there could be some very warm temperatures, like marked off by this graph. And then after that, we could experience some cooler temperatures again. So we need to keep an eye on that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please consider subscribing to my channel. Please consider liking the video. And as always, I'll catch you all guys in the next episode.